In a professional meeting, the difference between a good contributor and a professional leader often comes from the words we choose. Small improvements in how we speak can help build a positive and respectful environment for everyone.
That is true, Sophia. You do not need complicated words to be effective. What matters is using the right phrase at the right time to keep the conversation natural and professional.
Welcome to Business English for Success. I am Sophia, and today, along with Liam, we will share 15 practical phrases to help you communicate more clearly in any international meeting.
Instead of just theory, we will look at 5 real-life situations. We will practice how to guide a discussion politely, how to support an idea, and how to organize clear next steps.
And please stay for our shadowing section at the end of the video. It is designed to help you practice the natural rhythm and the calm tone of these phrases, so you can apply them easily in your work.
Let's build on your basic English and start our first situation, sharing a clear agenda.
Imagine you are leading a project update with a global team. The participants have just logged into the call. As the person in charge, your opening words determine how organized and focused the meeting will be. Sometimes, out of a desire to be quick, a host might say, "Hi everyone, can we start now?"
While this is direct, it misses an opportunity to show appreciation and clear leadership. Instead of jumping straight in, the best approach is to first acknowledge everyone's presence, then state the specific goal, and finally invite action. This builds a positive environment where everyone feels valued and understands the structure of the meeting.
Let's observe how to combine these 3 elements into a professional opening.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you all for joining our project synchronization today.
Good morning, Sophia. I'm glad we could all make it.
It's great to see everyone. I've called this meeting to review our progress on the new website design and confirm our tasks for the coming week.
That is perfect. I have the updated reports ready for the team.
Excellent. Since everyone is here, shall we begin by looking at the first milestone on our agenda?
Yes, let's proceed. I will share my screen now.
We used 3 key phrases there. First, thank you all for joining. This is a polite way to recognize the team's effort in being present.
Second, we have, I've called this meeting to. This is much more effective than saying, I want to talk about. It shows that the meeting has a formal purpose and that you have a clear plan.
And third, shall we begin? This is a friendly, professional invitation to start. It invites the team to participate rather than just giving a command. Our featured phrase for this situation is, I've called this meeting to, followed by your objective.
Using this phrase makes you sound clear and professional. Imagine you were starting a meeting about improving customer service. How would you use this phrase? Share your sentence in the comments so we can all learn together.
Now that the meeting has started successfully, how do you share your thoughts clearly without being too direct? In our next scenario, we will look at 3 phrases for sharing your ideas with a professional touch. Now, let's imagine the meeting is in progress. A colleague has just finished sharing a proposal, and the host invites everyone to share their thoughts. This is your opportunity to contribute and show your expertise. Many people feel they should start with the very simple, I think this is good.
While it is friendly, I think can sometimes sound a bit personal or less certain in a professional discussion. To sound more professional, you should move from personal feelings to professional observations. By using phrases that present your opinion as a point of view or a contribution, you show that you are looking at the situation clearly. This invites others to consider your idea as a professional contribution rather than just a personal preference.
Let's see how Sophia and Liam use 3 specific phrases to share their ideas with clarity and confidence.
Thank you for that overview, Liam. Does anyone have any additional thoughts on the marketing plan?
Yes, Sophia. From my perspective, the digital approach is very solid, especially for our younger audience.
I agree. Is there anything else we should consider for the traditional channels?
I am of the opinion that we should maintain a small presence in print media to reach our long-term partners.
That is a valid point. We should definitely look into that.
Additionally, I would like to add that we might need to adjust the budget slightly to cover both areas effectively.
Thank you, Liam. That is a very constructive addition to our plan.
Liam used 3 very effective phrases there. First, from my perspective. This phrase is excellent because it suggests that you are sharing one part of the situation. It sounds polite and very professional.
Then I used, I am of the opinion that. This is a formal alternative to I think. It signals that your opinion is based on careful thought and experience. It is very convincing in a professional setting.
And finally, I would like to add that this is a great way to build on an existing conversation without stopping the discussion process. It shows that you are listening actively and want to contribute more value to the topic. The key phrase to remember here is, from my perspective, followed by your specific thought.
For example, if you are discussing a project timeline, you could say, from my perspective, we should review the schedule one more time. Using perspective instead of opinion can change how people receive your message. It sounds more helpful. If you were discussing a new office policy, how would you start your sentence? Let us know in the comments. We love reading your professional examples.
Sharing ideas is great, but what happens when you need to ask for more details or politely stop someone to clarify a point? In our third scenario, we will explore the art of polite communication and asking for more information. In many meetings, a colleague might speak for a long time or mention a point that is not entirely clear to you. You want to ask for more details or contribute a thought, but you want to remain polite and professional. A common mistake is to wait until the very end, or worse, to interrupt suddenly with, "Stop, I do not understand."
Using stop or wait can sound too direct and may create an uncomfortable atmosphere. The professional solution is to use softening phrases. These are professional transitions that signal your intent to contribute without dismissing what the other person is saying. By acknowledging the discussion before you speak, you maintain a positive connection with your colleagues while ensuring you have the information you need to move forward.
Let's listen to how Sophia and Liam use 3 polite phrases to get more information and join the discussion smoothly.
So, we are planning to implement the new software updates across all departments by the end of this month, starting with the logistics team.
If I could just add a point here, Sophia, I think it is important to consider the training schedule for the staff before we go live.
That is a great point, Liam. We should definitely include that in the plan.
Regarding the training, could you elaborate on the specific modules that will be available for the team?
Certainly. We will focus on the data entry and reporting tools first.
Thank you. Just to clarify, will the training be held online or in person?
It will be a hybrid session to accommodate everyone.
Notice the precision in Liam's language. He started with, "If I could just add a point here." This is a very common and professional way to join a conversation. It is polite and shows you respect the speaker's ideas.
Then I used, could you elaborate on? This is much more professional than saying, can you explain more? It suggests that you understand the main idea but would like to explore the specific details. It shows a high level of interest and engagement.
Finally, just to clarify. This phrase is essential for preventing misunderstandings. It signals that you are seeking a specific piece of information to ensure everyone has a shared understanding. It is a tool for accuracy and clear communication.
The phrase we want you to practice today is, could you elaborate on, followed by the specific point you want to understand better.
For instance, if you want to know more about the budget, you could say, "Could you elaborate on the budget allocation for this quarter?"
This phrase is a very effective way to show you are paying attention. Imagine a colleague is talking about a new project timeline. How would you ask them for more details using this phrase? Share your sentence in the comments. We are looking forward to reading them.
We have managed the communication well, but what if you have a different opinion? How do you share a different view without creating tension? In the next part, we will look at how to handle different perspectives with true professional grace. Now let's explore a more detailed situation. You are in a discussion where a colleague proposes a plan that you believe might need further adjustment. You want to express your concerns without making the other person feel defensive. In moments like this, some people might be too direct and say, "I do not agree with that idea," or "that is not practical."
Using such direct language can unintentionally limit the discussion. The professional solution is to use the acknowledge and pivot technique. First, you acknowledge that you have heard and understood their point. Then, you move to your concern using professional phrases that focus on the project's goals rather than personal disagreement. This keeps the conversation constructive and shows that you are working together toward the best possible outcome.
Let's listen to how Sophia and Liam handle a difference of opinion with professional grace.
I believe we should move the entire budget to social media advertising for the next quarter to see immediate results.
I understand your point. However, I think we should also consider the importance of our current email subscribers.
That's true, but social media has a much wider reach right now.
I understand, but I have some reservations about reducing our email budget so significantly, as it has a very high conversion rate.
I understand your concern. Do you have a different suggestion for the budget allocation?
Let's look at this with another perspective. What if we maintain the email budget, but optimize our social media content to be more cost-effective?
That is a very balanced approach, Liam. Let's explore that option further.
Liam handled that very well. He used, "I understand your point, however." This is a powerful phrase because it shows empathy first. It tells the other person, "I hear you," which makes them more willing to hear your however.
Exactly. Then I used "I have some reservations about." Notice I did not say "I think you are wrong." The word reservations sounds professional and objective. It suggests that you are being cautious for the benefit of the project, not for personal reasons.
And finally, let's look at this with another perspective. This phrase is excellent for moving away from a simple disagreement. It invites both parties to be creative and find a third solution that works for everyone. A very useful phrase for your daily work is, "I understand your point, however," followed by your constructive observation.
For example, if you want to ensure the project timeline is realistic, you could say, "I understand your point, however, I believe we should review the delivery dates once more." This phrase helps keep the conversation open and professional. Imagine a colleague wants to change the meeting time to 7 a.m. How would you use this phrase to suggest a different time? Write your professional response in the comments below.
We have managed a disagreement successfully, but how do we bring everything together and ensure everyone knows the next steps? In our final scenario, we will look at how to conclude a meeting professionally and effectively. We have reached the final stage of our meeting. All ideas have been shared and the discussion is nearly complete. Now you need to summarize the decisions and ensure everyone knows their responsibilities before leaving the room. Many people finish a meeting by simply saying, "Okay, we are done. Thank you. Goodbye."
While being brief is good, ending this way can leave questions because people might not be sure about what happens next. The professional solution is to provide a structured conclusion. You should signal the end of the discussion, confirm a time for the next update, and highlight the most important result. This ensures that the time spent in the meeting leads to actual progress and that everyone feels a sense of accomplishment.
Let's listen to how Sophia and Liam conclude their meeting with clarity and professionalism.
It looks like we have covered all the points on our agenda for today.
Yes, Sophia. It was a very productive session.
To summarize our meeting, I will send a summary of our budget decisions to the finance team this afternoon.
Perfect. I will begin working on the new social media content right away.
Great. Let's follow up on this next Tuesday at 10 a.m. to review your first drafts.
That works for me. I will send out the calendar invitation.
Thank you. I believe the main result from today is that our combined strategy will significantly support our market presence.
I agree. Thank you, Sophia. Have a great day, everyone.
We used 3 essential phrases for a strong finish. First, to summarize our meeting. This is a clear signal that the discussion is ending. It helps everyone shift their focus to action.
Then I used, let's follow up on this. This is a very professional phrase. Follow up means to contact someone again to discuss progress. It is very effective and shows you are organized.
Finally, the main result from today is. This is a professional leadership phrase. It helps you simplify the discussion into one clear, positive message. It ensures that everyone leaves the meeting with the same understanding. A phrase that will make you sound professional is, the main result from today is, followed by the core achievement of the meeting.
For example, if you have just finalized a plan, you could say, the main result from today is our shared commitment to the new project goals. It shows you have a clear vision. Think about a recent project you worked on. What was the most important lesson or result? Use this phrase to share it with us in the comments.
You have now learned 15 phrases to participate in meetings with confidence. But are you ready to use them with a natural rhythm? Stay with us for the final part, the shadowing session. Now it is time to practice. To help you speak with confidence, we have selected the most effective phrases from today's video. Please listen carefully and repeat after us.
Focus on the natural rhythm and professional tone. Let's begin.
Phrase 1. I've called this meeting to review our progress.
Now your turn. I've called this meeting to review our progress.
Excellent. Phrase 2. From my perspective, this approach is very solid.
Your turn. From my perspective, this approach is very solid.
Good job. Phrase 3. I understand your point, however, I have some reservations.
Your turn. I understand your point, however, I have some reservations.
Phrase 4. Could you elaborate on the specific details?
Repeat after me. Could you elaborate on the specific details?
Final phrase. The main result from today is our commitment to quality.
One more time. The main result from today is our commitment to quality. Well done, Sophia. We have covered 15 key phrases and how to use them professionally in different meeting scenarios.
That's right, Leon. My favorite lesson today is how a small change in words, like using perspective instead of opinion, can make the conversation much more positive and collaborative.
I agree. Communication is not just about vocabulary. It is about how we show respect to our colleagues through our language.
Thank you all for joining us today on Business English for Success. We hope these phrases help you communicate more clearly in your next international meeting.
If you found this video helpful, feel free to share your favorite phrase in the comments. We look forward to seeing your professional progress.
Let's keep practicing and communicating professionally.
See you in the next video. Goodbye, everyone.
Goodbye.